Hello and welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have as my second guests. Well, I want to start with Ron Lake. Now, Ron is a distance education graduate from HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and he came in today all the way from Arizona. Now, Ron has two offices, one in Prescott, Arizona, another one in Austin, Texas, and he has with him his wonderful client, Christy, who came to visit Ron to overcome gluten sensitivity. Please help me welcome my guests. Christy, I want to start with you. How did you find Ron?
Well, we were best friends as kids, and he moved away, and I lost him for over 30 years, and then on Facebook, I found him on Facebook.
And you found out he was a hypnotherapist?
I did. It was so awesome.
Now, tell me about your journey with gluten sensitivity.
Oh, back as a kid, very young child, I was always sick. I had headaches and belly aches and muscle pain and joint pain. I mean, just caught every bug going around, and had tests and surgeries and malnutrition. I got down to 80 pounds and had to go in the hospital for IVs. And they could never figure out what was wrong.
So how did you finally get a diagnosis of gluten sensitivity?
Well, I went to a gastroenterologist who suggested that I try being gluten-free.
What was that like for you?
It was so liberating. I mean, within a week, I felt human. I mean, I'd never felt so healthy before.
Well, it sounds like that should be the end of our segment. Why, after discovering this life-affirming, wonderful gluten-free existence, why did you want to, again, re-immerse yourself in the world of gluten?
Well, at that same time that I was offered gluten sensitivity as a way to unfold into health, I was also doing vision boarding. And so every day I'd wake up and I'd do my vision board, and on it I just had this idea. Why don't I put on it that I can eat gluten and be healthy?
Now, for those of the people who don't understand what a vision board is, can you explain it to us?
Sure. As you know, in hypnotherapy, that magic moment in the morning and the evening, I would look at my vision board, and I created some clearing processes for it, and it has my goals, it has pictures, and it has words for left and right brain. And so on it I had a picture of me standing in a wheat field and the words, I can eat gluten and be healthy.
But that didn't work. So when you rediscovered Ron after 30 years, what did you say to him about what your true goal and intention was?
Well, I had this inspiration one morning as I was working with my vision board that if gluten sensitivity can be woke up in the body, that maybe it could be put back to sleep. And when I found out that he was an HMI grad, I was going, oh, what about hypnotherapy? Why not try that?
So Ron, you're a distance education student. You'd been through all of the videos, you talked to your tutor, you talked to your mentor. What did you do for Christy with her gluten sensitivity?
This was a new case for me. Being autoimmune certified as well from HMI, I took the opportunity to really take a look at gluten sensitivity because I wasn't aware of it or all the ramifications of it. One of the first things that was important to me was to find out if being gluten intolerant was her new identity, if it's something that she joined groups for and it became a part of her life as opposed to just something that she wanted to change.
So are you telling me that if somebody has a diagnosis or a syndrome, that can actually have the gain of becoming who you are and how you identify yourself and how you connect with other people?
Absolutely, and I looked at it, what are the secondary gains to having some sort of a syndrome? What kind of connections and community have you developed around yourself, being a part of needing to be gluten-free or any other kind of syndrome that you might come up with? And if changing that in you now, what else is going to change in your life as well? That was really important to take a look at first.
And when he explored that with you, what did you discover?
I discovered it wasn't my identity. I mean, I wanted it gone. It was on my vision board. And I never liked those groups. They were just so stuck on their diagnosis or their label. That was the word.
And some people find great relief. Some people find it a little more sad to be affiliated with those groups. It's such an individual thing. One of the things that impressed me about what you just said is you too made research your co-therapist. What else did you discover when you were researching gluten intolerance?
Well, you know, Christy had mentioned to me when I first talked to her about it, about her idea of putting it to sleep. And in my research, I found that a lot of these kind of ailments are actually in our bodies all the time. And some sort of a stressor or something that happens in our life awakens that issue. And then it becomes alive in our body. So in researching not only just this particular disorder, but many others as well, I found this to be true over and over again. And why not? If it can wake up, why can't we put it back to sleep?
So what kind of hypnosis did you use to gently rock it back to sleep?
First, we started with stress, because I found in all my research that stress was the #1 thing that tends to wake up most or a lot of autoimmune disorders. And in getting her to relax and stress and bringing stress down in the body and in the mind, because we have an amazing mind and body connection. And if we can go in through the mind and relax the mind and then relax the body, I think that we have a much bigger, much greater opportunity to relax the stress in the organs and the stress in other parts of the body.
Well, without getting too technical, you just referred to a gluten insensitivity as an autoimmune thing. Do you know, Christy, you've done so much research on this. In what way are allergies or insensitivities similar to autoimmune diseases?
I think they all start with the autoimmune system.
And certainly I know, and this is a secret, so don't tell anybody, I have an autoimmune condition that I am well. I'll just say that I am well. And I know from my research that with autoimmune issues that you can go into remission for long, 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 long periods of time. We don't call it a cure, but we do call it going into remission. Talk to me about putting the gluten sensitivity into remission.
Yeah, that was fascinating for me as well, being that this was my first example of it in my career. I utilized hypnosis where we talked directly to the autoimmune system through the subconscious mind, and basically gave it an opportunity to go back through the body and take a look once again at all the T cells and all the different aspects of the organs and stuff, and remark what needs to be awake and what needs to be asleep in the body currently. And I was really excited to see how she progressed, how well she progressed.
The other thing I love about what you just said is you're a hypnotherapist and HMI distance grad, and you come across something you've never seen before, so you researched it. You got yourself certified. You learned about it. So you can learn it, and then you can access it, and then you can apply it. But now I have to ask the big question. Now that you went through hypnotherapy with Ron Lake for, well, gluten insensitivity, and you are seeing that image on your image board, tell me about your real-life practical experience with gluten.
Well, after many sessions with him, we decided to test it out, and we went out.
Were you scared?
I was so excited, and there was this part of me going, you know, watching and going, okay, I trust this is going to work, but gluten before had made me so sick and ouchy, and so we went out for Chinese food, and you know, gluten wrapped egg rolls and wontons and soy sauce, and got pictures and posted them on Facebook as I was eating my first gluten, and we watched, and for days we watched, and there was no pain, no symptoms whatsoever.
Not that anyone would say that I'm highly neurotic. Is this dangerous? Is it dangerous to use hypnotherapy for a sensitivity and then try it out? I'll let either one of you answer that question.
I had nothing to lose, you know. Yeah, I had nothing to lose, and I was so inspired when I did my vision board. I just was like, that's how to do it. And then he showed up in my life. It was all so synchronistic.
Sounds like synchronicity
yeah,
to
it
me.
was.
How long ago was it that you had your meal at the Chinese restaurant?
Over a year.
And was it Cantonese or Mandarin? It's a very important question.
Szechuan.
Szechuan. Oh, okay. Yes. That's the
Spicy.
third alternative. How long has that been?
Over a year.
So what are you eating now?
Anything I want.
Pizza?
Pizza. The best pizza.
So what would you say to someone who is struggling with an autoimmune disease or an allergy or even just a sensitivity about hypnotherapy?
Give it a try. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You have that freedom of choice.
And I'm going to ask you another question. Now, certainly you understand about the subconscious mind. You understand about rehearsing and having a vision and intention. Why wasn't that enough? Why did we need an objective, outside of self, hypnotherapist?
You know, I don't think I had the tools through my vision board to go into my subconscious mind and put that back to sleep. It took hypnotherapy to be able to do that.
And boy, I think that our hypnotherapist has the one thing we'll never have: objectivity.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need someone outside of self, someone to be a sounding board, someone just to listen and have unconditional positive regard for us.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who is coming in with an autoimmune disease or an allergy and using hypnotherapy, Ron?
Like I mentioned before, I think the mind-body connection is extremely amazing. I think that hypnotherapy, obviously, because I'm in the practice and I've really researched it and become a part of it, and it's a part of my life, it does amazing things for people. I don't think that results are always typical for everybody, and it really depends on their mindset and what their expectations and intent are. But I truly believe the old phrase, what the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve.
Oh, I agree, but I'm a hammer, and everything to me looks like a nail.
Yeah.
Tell me, Christy, what did hypnotherapy feel like? What did it feel like to be in the hypnotic trance?
It felt like I was floating, just in the vastness of opportunity.
That's beautiful. I love that. Well, it appears we're out of time for today, but I know that everyone's going to want to find out more about your unique way of doing hypnotherapy. Now, if you live in Prescott, Arizona, or Austin, Texas, you can come to Ron's office, or you can Skype all over the world, and you can find Ron Lake at hmigrads.com. I want to thank everybody in the studio audience and those of you at home for watching my show. My name is Lisa Mackenberg, and I hope you'll stay tuned when next time we meet more people and find out how they are using Hypnosis today. Stay tuned, there's a lot more coming up for you on Hypnosis TV. Hello, and we're from Arizona. Now, Ron has two offices, one in Prescott, Arizona, another one in Austin, Texas, and he has with him his wonderful client, Christy, who came to visit Ron to overcome gluten sensitivity. Please help me welcome my guests. Christy, I want to start with you. How did you find Ron?
Well, we were best friends as kids, and he moved away, and I lost him for over 30 years. And then on Facebook, I found him on Facebook.
And you found out he was a hypnotherapist?
I did. It was so awesome.
Now, tell me about your journey with gluten sensitivity.
Oh, back as a kid, very young child, I was always sick. I had headaches and belly aches and muscle pain and joint pain. I mean, just caught every bug going around. And
welcome back to Hypnosis Today, where we explore how people are using hypnosis to achieve remarkable things. If you've just joined us, I have as my second guests. Well, I want to start with Ron Lake. Now, Ron is a distance education graduate from HMI College of Hypnotherapy, and he came in today all the way